kidney are first carbon dioxide and water from cellular respiration, and second nitrogen-containing compounds from the consumption of excess proteins. The lungs excrete most of the carbon dioxide and some of the water through respiration. Some water and excess minerals are lost in the form of separation. However, most water and nitrogenous waste are eliminated by the kidney, the main excretory organs of the body. The most common nitrogenous waste is ammonia. Ammonia is produced from the composition of excess proteins in the energy. It is a substance so toxic that it could not remain long in the body without harming cells. The body is protected from ammonia poisoning by the liver, which removes ammonia from the blood and converts it into a less harmful substance called urea. The urea enters the bloodstream and is then removed by the kidney.
Humans have two kidneys. The kidneys are bean-shaped excretory organs, each about the size of a clenched fist. The kidneys are located in the small of the back, one behind the stomach and the other behind the liver. The illustration shown the three main parts of the kidney. The cortex is the outermost portion of the kidney, which makes up about a third of its tissue mass. The medulla is the inner two-thirds of the kidney. The renal pelvis is a funnel-shaped structure in the center of the kidney. Also notice in the figure that blood enters the kidney through a renal artery and leaves through a renal vein. A series of processes in the kidney removes waste from the blood. The urea and water are removed from the blood from an amber-colored liquid called urine. The urine flows from the kidneys into the urinary system for storage and eventually elimination from the body.
Take a close look at the structure of the functional unit of the kidney. The nephron shown in the illustration. Each kidney consists of more than 1 million nephrons. Each nephron has cup-shaped structure called Bowman's capsule that encloses a bed of capillaries. This capillary bed, called a glomerulus, receives blood from the renal artery. High pressure forces fluids from the blood through the capillary walls into the Bowman's capsule. The material filtered from the blood then flows through the renal tubule, a long tube with permeable walls. The remaining blood flows through a network of capillaries that wrap around the renal tubule. As the blood and fluid flow through the nephron, a composition of both is modified by exchange of materials among the renal tubule, the capillaries, and the extracellular fluid. Various types of exchange take place in the 4 different parts of the renal tubule. The proximal convoluted tubule, the loop of Henle, and the distal convoluted tubule, and the collection duct. To understand how the structure of each part of the nephron is related to its function, let's look at the 3 major processes that take place in the nephron: filtration, reabsorption, and secretion.
The process through which materials from the blood are forced out of the glomerulus and into the Bowman's capsule is called filtration. Pressure forces water, nitrogenous waste, glucose, and mineral salts through the capillary walls. About 1/5 of the fluid portion of the blood filters into the capsule. Thus, the filtrate, the fluid that enters the nephron, resembles blood plasma without the red or white blood cells found in plasma.
Many of the substances that have been removed from the blood by filtration. For us, as the filtrate flows through the renal tubule, materials return to the blood by passing through the walls of the tubule and entering the surrounding capillaries. This process is called resorption. Most resorption occurs in the proximal convoluted tubule. In this region, about 75% of the water in the filtrate returns to the capillaries by osmosis. Glucose and minerals such as sodium, potassium, and calcium are returned to the blood by active transport. Some additional resorption occurs in the distal convoluted tubule. As in the region of the tubule, some substances pass from the blood into the filtrate through a process called secretion. The pH of the blood is also adjusted by secreting hydrogen ions into the filtrate. The fluid and the waste that remain in the vertebral trova are from urine. The urine from several renal tubules flows into a collecting duct.
In the collecting duct, urine is further concentrated by the osmosis of water through the wall of the duct into the extracellular fluid. This process allows the body to conserve water. In fact, osmosis is the collecting duct, together with reabsorption in other parts of the tubule, returns to the blood about 99 of every 100 milliliters of water in the filtrate. You may have noticed that in tracing the flow of filtrate through the nephron, we skipped over the loop of Henle. The function of the loop of Henle is closely related to that of the collecting duct. Water moves out of the collecting duct because of the concentration of sodium chloride is higher than the extracellular fluid of the medulla than it is in the fluid inside of the collecting duct. This high concentration of sodium chloride is maintained by the loop of Henle. Cells in the walls of the loop actively transport negatively charged chloride ions from the filtrate into the extracellular fluid. Positively charged sodium ions follow the chloride ions into the fluid through electrical attraction. This ensures that the sodium chloride concentration of the extracellular fluid remains high, and this promotes the reabsorption of water from the collecting duct. Understanding this relationship between the loop of Henle and the collecting duct will help you understand how these two structures function together to concentrate wastes. Urinary system. Urine from the collecting ducts flows to the renal pelvis into a narrow tube called a ureter. A ureter leads from each kidney to the urinary bladder, a muscular sac that stores urine. Muscular contractions of the bladder force urine out of the body through a tube called the urethra.